So today was the first day of work, and it was not a very stressful day because I had most of the paperwork done before I even started work. So whenever I got there, they literally just needed a copy of my social security card and my driver's license, and they just let me go straight to work. And then after getting oriented with everything and meeting everybody in the shop, it was it was a pretty good day overall. Honestly, it was pretty eventful. A couple lessons I learned today, though. I'm trying to look for some stuff for the dog. So, one of the lessons I learned today was the fact that um, when you work for a real dealership and you have a real job, uh, there's less throwing people under the bus per se. So the focus today was not so much on um, figuring out who did the work wrong on the truck, but how we're going to fix it. Do we really need to tell the boss or the foreman or anybody else, throw somebody under the bus and say, hey, this person worked on this last and they didn't do a very good job, they left everything tore apart and stuff like that, and make them look bad? No, that wasn't the goal. The goal was to get the truck in the shop and get it fixed. All the other stuff can happen later by a manager if they so choose to investigate. Why is this truck back in the shop again, and all of a sudden this guy's ordering parts from it when Joe Schmo had the truck before this guy? Maybe I should start looking into this a little bit more. So that way that you're not brought into the mix. You didn't throw the guy under the bus, and his work lets it speak for itself. So today, I went to go pick up a truck from the parking lot, pulled it in. I noticed the horn didn't work. The customer just bought this truck. The horn didn't work. The DPF filter, which is basically the regen filter, the emissions filter, the clamps were left off of it. There were bolts broken. Bolts were sticking out of the step. I mean, there was probably a couple $100 worth of damage done to the truck. And instead of me throwing the guy under the bus and saying, hey, this mechanic did all this, Brian, the guy that I'm working with right now, which is like the assistant foreman in the shop, said, you know what, we don't really do that stuff here, dude. It's not like a dealership environment where you came from, where it's cutthroat and everybody has to be tattled on and stuff like that, and you need to like keep accountability of every single thing that somebody screws up. This environment is not that way. Just learn, and at this place we just look out for each other, we cover for each other. We if it's severe enough, sure, obviously you say something, but something like this, just fix the truck. Just put the clamps on it that need to be fixed. Get the bolts and brackets and stuff that need to be done for it. The customer's already bought the truck anyway. It has to be made right anyway. There's no reason to throw, anybody under the bus. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm listening to what this guy's saying. He's correct, his work will eventually catch up with whoever did that job. And it'll show for itself, and he'll have to answer for it then, but it's not my place to throw that guy under the bus. And then I'm walking through the shop, and I go over to talk to a buddy of mine, and I said, hey, I'm missing one of these clips that go on the truck. Do you have an extra clip in your box? And Lau, he's my Asian buddy, my best friend. He said, why, what's going on? I said, well, the guy that was working on that truck, he's my best friend. So I just kind of gave him a brief overview to see what he would say, because I don't really know Brian, this new guy. And he says, oh, so the guy left the clamps and the bolts and everything off, and there were some broken bolts. He said, yeah, he didn't do a very good job, but he said, you know what, man? He said the same thing, and it was kind of ironic. He said, don't throw the guy under the bus. Just go ahead and write it up as you found something that was broken and you fixed it, and just leave it at that. We don't do a bunch of tattling on each other here and stuff like that. We just fix the vehicle. If it needs to be fixed, just fix it. Bottom line. And if they have questions, they'll ask. But there's no reason to start getting people in trouble. Maybe that guy was having a bad day. You never know what was going on with that guy. Maybe just kind of whenever you see him, if you ever figure out who he is, because there's two shifts. There's night shift and day shift. Night shift may not even figure out who was working on that truck before you. And that's how they kind of eliminate a lot of the problems, is Management knows who it is, but you as a tech, you don't need to know who it is. You just need to know how to fix or pick up where things were left off. And it was kind of funny because my buddy said the exact same thing. He said, don't throw him under the bus. Just fix the truck, get it out, and just do your job. That's all. And they'll find out who it is. So, valuable lesson learned today, especially in my job where I came from dealership wise to where I'm at dealership wise now. Completely different atmosphere. I mean, as soon as I got there today, they were like, "Hey, do you have a 50-foot airline, like an air hose and air fittings and stuff?" And I was like, "No, I don't have any of this stuff." I thought the shop would have, like one per every couple techs. And he said, "No, we're gonna give you a brand new one for yourself." So they took me over to the parts room and they said, "Give him a brand new 50-foot hose and air fittings and everything. Just give it to him. He needs it." And I was like, "Wow, this is weird. I'm not used to being treated like this at a dealership, So that one, the assistant foreman, I went and worked with him today, and yeah, just kind of just watched everything that was going on. It was like super low stress, low key, and it was nice. I mean, it really was, and everybody was super super cool, and I was shocked at how laid back everything is. So with that being said, it's just, I think this will be a completely different atmosphere for me. Something I'm not used to. When you work in a car dealership or something like that, it's cutthroat. Everybody's out to get you. Everybody's out to take the hours, the jobs. It's not that way here. It doesn't seem to be that way here. I don't want to speak too soon, but it's a lot more laid back. It's a lot more relaxed, and it just seems to be managed way, way better. I mean, when you can put 45 trucks inside a shop, and yes, I said 45 trucks inside a shop, you better know how to manage that, because you got guys pulling engines, doing brakes, AC jobs, leasing companies, mechanics working on leasing vehicles, stuff going on. So, managing things correctly, and it seems like this is the place that does know how to manage things correctly. So we'll see how that goes. And then the other thing is learning to brush things off when they just don't make. I posted my pictures today of me and Matt, which Matt is like kind of like my ultimate success story or whatever. Whenever I started at Hertz, me and Matt would talk at lunch. We would be, we're really good buddies. And I started mentioning keto to him, and he, kind of said, "Can I just leave the vegetables out and just eat meat?" And I said, "Well, absolutely you can. You just have to be careful. I mean, if you want to add some vegetables, and sometimes I would, but yeah, you can just eat meat." And he was like, "Good, because that's what I want to do." And he lost like 100 pounds already. And he said, "Hey, come over here." And he hugged me whenever he seen me, and he was like, "You saved my life, man." Not really saved his life or whatever, but he, he's a good kid, and well, he's a good young man. I mean, he's not a kid, but he's like a kid to me, but he's not. He's like my little brother, even though he's like much taller than me. He's a freaking giant. And I posted those pictures today with me and him like standing there flexing next to each other. And he said, "One day I'll have big arms like you." And he's a big boy. I wouldn't go mess with him. And somebody had the nerve to post on my public page, "You're too fat to be flexing like that. You should lose the rest of your weight before you show off, because that's not the appropriate thing to do." Wow. Talk about driving one home. You should not brag about being able to bulk and build muscle until you lose all your fat. I thought, wow, that's a great thing. That's an awesome thing to say to somebody. That's amazing. The fact that you care so much that somebody had the nerve to leave that on my page today, to tell me that I should not be showing myself off. I should not be proud of myself until I've lost all the fat on my body, and then I should show myself. I mean, I'm proud of the fact that I mean, genetically, I don't have to struggle. I don't struggle to build muscle like some people do. I have big arms. You know, I've always had nice arms. Ladies have always paid me nice compliments, even when I, you know, just, hey man, you got some big arms, nice arms. You know, my girlfriends and stuff at the time always grabbing on my arms and stuff. You know, girls like big arms, and I've always been proud of that. But the fact that this guy had the nerve to come to my page today and tell me, well, you're still fat and you should still lose the rest of your weight before you even decide to show yourself off like that, and you shouldn't be you shouldn't be bulking. He said that. He told me that you shouldn't be trying to build muscle and bulk until you lose all your weight. Oh, let me guess. I guess you're bulking by eating fat head pizzas and fat bombs and keto coffees and stuff like that. That's what was said. I love it, you know. Normally I would get mad, but I just decided to just block the guy from my page and just move on. I mean, kind of crazy. The fact that when I'm not monitoring my page, when I'm not there to see everything that's going on, is when somebody takes advantage of the situation. So by me publicly telling people, you know, my shift has changed, I won't be able to be online as much and stuff like that, as soon as I took the opportunity to be gone the majority of the day so I can focus on my life and work, somebody took the liberty at that point to create a fake profile, a trolling profile, and then come to my page and leave these comments. So the majority of the day it would be up there and I wouldn't see it. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get what's wrong with people. I don't get why people have to do this. But it is what it is. I mean, what are you going to do? You can't control everybody. I decided to not get mad about it and just be calm and move on from it. But yes, that's what was said. So I guess it's just a matter of, you know, how you deal with situations like this. Just don't get mad, delete and block them from my page and move on. I mean, I will admit, in the last year I have not lost that much weight. It's been all about building. I haven't been focused on really losing a lot of weight because I was getting a lot of loose skin from losing the weight. So I decided to increase everything, do some experiments along the way, and focus on a lot of gym time. So that's why you guys have been hearing me talk about going to the gym and hitting the weights a lot, because that was my focus and that's what I achieved. I didn't gain weight. I didn't do anything like it. I lost weight. I lost weight, I gained muscle. I lost weight, I gained muscle. That's exactly what I did for the last year, and that's exactly how everything was planned. But just like Jimmy Moore posted the other day, and you know, I don't agree with everything our social media stars say, but there are sure a lot of people out there that have really kicked up in the last, you know, 6 months, that are just fat shaming the mess out of people. And you don't even have to really be that fat. They could just be super jealous of you, and then all of a sudden you get fat shamed because you have something that they don't have. I think maybe the dude was jealous. I don't know, but it is what it is. I had a good day today. Today was a good first day of work. Went and bought myself some brand new work boots that I needed because it was against company policy for safety reasons. So I had to go get tapped into more money that I shouldn't have been doing, but I had to go get like $100 pair of decent boots so my feet didn't hurt while I was at work. And it was a successful day. A couple life lessons today, a couple wake-up calls today, and realizing what I've been missing with working for a real company like I'm working for now, and hopefully it stays that way. So that's my update of my day, guys. Thanks for those of you that have stuck here with me through my live stream. And I've got some good stuff coming up, so I'll talk to you a little bit more about it this weekend. I need to get my head together. I'm working on a few libraries, doing a few seminars up here. I need to send off some emails and stuff as proposals to see if they want to use it as a PR, so they can cover the actual material. And I'll tell you more about that when I get more answers. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Have a great day. Night.